Miller Middle School is a space where we experience our connection with, influence over, and interdependence upon a community beyond our family. Here, we begin to develop a social-emotional and intellectual identity that will remain with us throughout our life. At Miller Middle School, we care deeply about how kids are thinking and making meaning of the world around them from many perspectives.
Symptoms McKenna is experiencing that are connected across multiple subsystems.
When we care about student thinking, learning is student-centered in our classrooms.
She has shorter villi, so she's not absorbing as much nutrients.
American education is undergoing a fundamental shift in what it means to learn. We are moving from a culture or an information age to a problem-solving and thinking age.
Constantly exercising, so difficulty breathing with exercise.
This is required for our students to be successful in whatever their pursuits are as they leave Miller, Durango High School, and beyond.
I think she'll be at like 35 kilograms.
Yeah.
So what does learning look like at Miller Middle School? When I was in school, the teacher's role was the keeper of knowledge. My role was to get that knowledge from the teacher and figure out a way to give it back to the teacher. That is not the role of the teacher and student any longer.
And this is different because it really is letting the students create the knowledge. It's providing some details needed there, but it's keeping the challenge high where they're having to think and problem solve through it.
So we are going to build understanding today about equivalent ratios.
It's a lot less teacher talk and a lot more kid talk where I invite the thinking. And they get to go and create the knowledge in really awesome, beautiful ways, messy ways, because thinking is messy. So it's definitely more exciting than it was when I started my career.
Miller Middle School is working directly with Harvard researchers Mark Church and Ron Richard. We are learning that when students are discovering and developing understanding of content
From ages 8 to 12.
is when we have long-lasting and impactful life learning.
As a math department, we have been looking at building thinking classrooms, and one of the tactics is to have students up out of their seats and creating knowledge together in small groups at vertical think spaces. It's different than how we used to do math in that I do a quick launch of the material that we're going to do and just really invite the thinking to start happening, provide any necessary details that they might need to get started, and then the complexity of the problems get harder and more challenging as the students go through.
Okay, what did they triple?
And then at the end, we consolidate it down into the big takeaway that I want for students to accomplish.
Scoops, how come they tripled the amount of cups and scoops?
Durango Schools has introduced the Portrait of a Graduate. Portrait of a Graduate is 6 dispositions that will help students be successful in the future. Miller Middle School is tightly aligned as we are working on building thinking classrooms to ensure that students are developing dispositions in all 6 areas.
They're learning not only the math content, but they're learning collaboration skills, like those Portrait of a Graduate skills of being empathetic collaborators, taking risks. Many of them are often sit and let the math pass them by because there's more strong voices, and this really allows and gives students the opportunity to take those risks up at the boards.
We look forward to seeing your students at Miller, and of course, please stop by anytime and we can talk more about learning at Miller. Go Angels!